So what's the difference between 4 P's and 7 P's of marketing?
So the 4 P's are mainly used for goods marketing, and the 7 P's, which are the last 3, people, process and physical evidence, they are also used for services marketing.
So are you passionate about dogs, animals in general, or you're not?
No, I am not an animal person.
You're not an animal person and still getting involved in this activity. Is there any discord?
So you like writing?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any punctuation or grammatical error on the application?
May I come in, sir?
Hi Krishna.
Hello. Good morning.
So we'll start with your introduction. So tell us something about yourself.
My name is Krishna Kasodaria. I was born and brought up in Mumbai itself. I am currently pursuing a BMS degree from NM College with a specialization in marketing. I study core subjects like marketing management and also electives like consumer behavior. In extracurriculars, I served as the joint secretary for the advertising and marketing circle of my college, and I also served as the head of marketing for the literary society. Outside of college, I have done internships in crowdfunding and also in social media marketing. And I also became a published author. Last year in June, my debut novel called The Dance of Marigolds came out on Amazon. That's something about myself.
So you're a published author now. Okay. How many copies have you sold?
So the sales count is between 30 to 40 right now.
Okay. So do you consider it to be a successful novel?
No, sir. Right now it was produced as an ebook because the first one was only for myself to experiment with my writing style. What kind of audience do I gather? So that was the whole objective behind it.
Okay. But let's say if it had sold, let's say 3,000 copies, would you have considered that to be a success?
No, I was very clear that literature for me was a hobby only, because I was also clear on the fact that I will write only when I have something to say. I don't want to write books only because I'm an author or because I should write books. So
Then you
that's,
could have started a blog also, right?
yes, but I am very interested in the genres of literary fiction. Even my book was a literary fiction genre. So those books have to do with a whole journey, like self-discovery, and all of those can't be covered in small blogs.
Okay. All right. So you want to specialize in marketing?
Yes.
Okay. When did you realize that you are keen on marketing?
Okay, so in SY, in BMS, we are supposed to select a specialization between marketing and finance. So before that in FY, I did 2 courses, one of finance and one of marketing. Naturally, I got interested in marketing more. It was an omni-channel marketing job simulation. So it would give me holistic knowledge about marketing. And also when I studied subjects like consumer behavior, I got interested in how consumers like to buy products, what are the mentality of them. So that's why I chose marketing.
Okay. So can you tell me what are the parameters that generally go in, let's say, a particular person buying a particular product?
Okay. So firstly, I would say the personality and the culture of the consumer buying the product. Let's say that the person is an early adopter or a laggard, then they would want products. Let's take the example of an early adopter. Let's say the person is tech savvy. Then if a new tech product comes in, like the latest iPhone or some new AI model, then that person will be the first to try it on. And if he is a laggard, then he would want to see how others are reacting to the product and then maybe try that product. So personality is a good aspect.
Can you think of anything else?
Okay. So we also studied familial roles and familial life cycle. So in a family life cycle, there were 4 stages about the bachelorhood, parenthood, and also the empty nest. So that's about how people sell products around the family wise. So before marriage, let's say bachelorhood, travel and furniture or buying a new house, those kind of products. So they targeted to that audience. Then while parenthood, insurance policies, a lot of insurance policies ads are about are family centric. So that's the motive. And post parenthood, it's about wellness, it's about mindfulness. So those kind of programs are targeted to those audience.
Okay. What is market basket analysis?
I'm sorry, sir, I cannot recall that right now.
Have you studied it at any point of time in your curriculum?
I have heard the term, but I don't remember about.
Okay. All right. Now explain 4 P's of marketing to me as if I don't know anything about marketing.
Okay. So the 4 P's of marketing are product, price, place, and promotion. To take an example, so do you mind if I take the example of my own book and explain it to you? Sure. So the product is my book. It's an ebook. Then it's about giving the information about that product. What is the print length? How long can I read it for? So that's about the product. Who is it for? And then let's say place. Place is about the distribution and accessibility of the product. How can they access it? So my book, it is available on Amazon globally. So anyone in any part of the country can access it. That is the place part of it. Then promotion. How do I tell you that this book exists? For that, I use, let's say, social media marketing on Instagram, WhatsApp messaging, face-to-face marketing in my college circles, and price. Price is about how accessible it is, what is the price point, when do I give discounts, that is the price of the product. So these are the 4 P's. It is mainly used for goods marketing.
Okay. How much of what money do you make, let's say? So on the sale of the book, currently it is available as ebook is what you said. What is the price of the book?
Okay, currently it is available for 179 rupees, but I only get a 70% royalty from Amazon. The rest 30% it takes it because it's the platform provider.
Okay. Any idea how much would it have been if it had been a physical book?
No, sir, I don't know.
Okay. So you never wanted to have a physical book?
So printing was expensive at that point, and frankly, I didn't know about my audience. So it didn't make sense for me to just enter into a market blindly. Ebook was something I could control. So to gather knowledge, market research, I thought an ebook was a safer choice.
Okay. So you like writing?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any punctuation or grammatical error on the application?
So because you have pointed out, there may be one, but I have not been aware of it right now.
Okay. Girish?
So what's the difference between 4 P's and 7 P's of marketing?
Okay, so the 4 P's are mainly used for goods marketing, and the 7 P's, which are the last 3, people, process, and physical evidence, they are also used for services marketing, because services are generally intangible, so you need something more to market them.
So have you come across the term behavioral economics?
No, sir, I have not.
So what is your book all about? The Dance of Marigolds.
The Dance of Marigolds. Okay, so the book follows 2 teenagers, Meera and Ishan. Meera is a teenager grown up in Bombay itself, and she is experiencing currently a phase of self-discovery. So she takes up running as a hobby, and through that she discovers herself. And on the sidelines, there's Ishan. He is dealing with the death of a family member, and he is shifting from Jaipur to Mumbai. It's about how he is accepting that phase of himself and currently discovering himself.
So can you throw some light over the Supreme Court judgment on stray dogs?
Supreme Court judgment. Okay. There has been a great increase in the population of street dogs. So it was something about vaccination, but I don't know much about the matter.
So as a part of your role as a crowdfunding intern
Yes.
in Pause Foundation,
Yes.
right? So you work for vaccination of stray dogs, right?
I was just a crowdfunding intern, so I was just raising funds. The NGO
You were
was-
not involved in the activities.
I was not involved in the activities of their vaccination and sheltering. I was just involved in crowdfunding, copywriting, all of that.
So are you passionate about dogs, animals in general, or you're not?
No, I am not an animal person.
Okay. All right. Interesting that you worked in Pause Foundation then.
Yes, because the role was interesting. Copywriting and content, that was what I wanted to get into. So I thought I'd give it a chance.
No, but if you are not an animal person and still getting involved in this activity, so is there any discord?
So I feel it was just an internship and it was in a role that I liked, which was writing. So I thought maybe I'll give it a chance because it would also help me to identify my broader career goals. So if marketing is right for me or not. So I thought I'll take that up.
No, but why do you think at this point of time whether marketing is good or not? Because you're already specializing in that.
Of course. But so I did that internship before SY. So in that period.
Okay.
So
what is going on in the current affairs these days?
yes, sir. We had that issue of Trump. He bombed Venezuela because he thought that he needs to possess Venezuela for security reasons. And he also took the president and his wife to New York. So that was the issue.
So do you support that?
Sir, I feel that any country should not be allowed to exert such dominance on some another country, especially when we have safety organizations like the United Nations. So I feel that it was a breach of privacy also for that, for Venezuela, because ultimately a country belongs to its citizens, right? So
I can see you have very good academic record, and alongside that, you have done a lot of extracurricular activities. So, how are you able to handle all of this?
so one of my strengths was also multitasking, because when my internship was going on, I was also side by side writing my book. So I feel with proper time management, you can do it.
Do you think this can also lead to early burnout?
Not if you have enough time for blowing off steam alongside your professional commitments.
Okay. So, what do you do in your free time?
Sir, I like to read books. It has been a long-standing hobby of mine. I started with Harry Potter in Standard 6 and I still continue. Not with Harry Potter, with other genres, of course.
So, what's the last book that you read?
Okay, so the last book I read was Clear Light of Day. It was by Anita Desai. It was also shortlisted for the Booker Prize earlier. The book was about a family growing up in Delhi, and it was about how they lost both of their parents and how a sister naturally took up the role of the guardian, and how when they grew up, the two sisters were had completely different personalities. So it was about that. It was also a literary fiction genre, which I admire.
Okay. Do you think a lot of these novels that get shortlisted for Booker, etc., tend to be really complicated and not really meant for masses?
No, sir, I don't believe that, because currently the recent Booker Prize winner, which was Heart Lamp by Banu Mushtaq, that was also a story about Muslim women growing up in Karnataka. And it was about how their perseverance goes unnoticed. So a lot of times I feel that if there are untold stories that have something to say, then the Booker Prize is a very good platform.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 to 15 years?
Okay, so currently I see myself going into marketing roles only. So I can start with a marketing associate, then moving on to a brand manager, and eventually to chief marketing positions also.
Okay. What's your favorite brand?
My favorite brand currently I would say is Nike, because I like their campaigns.
Any particular campaign that you want to highlight?
Okay, so they currently had a recent campaign called "Why Do It." It was because their logo is "Just Do It." They wanted to show this aspect of why do it. So it was about athletes, and the narrator, he was continuously asking questions that why put yourself on the line, why make it difficult for yourself. It was about believing in yourself and actually just doing it, which was also justifying their logo, which was just start and it will take care of the process.
You have written something called Mathematics Carnival. You organized a Mathematics Carnival. What was this?
Okay, so in my college, there was a committee called the Maths and Statistics Committee. Now, that as a committee, people felt that it was very boring, because maths and statistics, they were very technical related terms. So, we wanted to show it that mathematics and statistics could also be fun. And I love the event organization part of it, because we had we had the college basement for a full day, and we could organize the whole carnival related to maths. So, that was fun.
No, so what was there in the event?
Okay, so we had some math related games, like we had codes, and if you could crack the code, their prize inside could be yours. Then we had some games just to get them interested, like we had those arcade games that we play in the malls about taking the sticks before they fall. So that was about.
How is it related to mathematics?
So that was just to pull people. Like the first
You could
rule
have
about marketing
distributed. You
was.
could have distributed just chips and cold drinks to everybody, and people still would have turned up.
No, sir, but I feel that if they are coming for something that they can participate in, then that's always better, right? In the IDA framework that we have in advertising, which is attention, interest, desire, and action, attention is the first part. So if we have something that attention let hooks them, and something they are also interested in, like games, which was the arcade game, then it's always better.
So it was not a lot of mathematics involved in it.
No, it was just about to do some awareness for the committee, because there was a maths and statistics committee. We also had counters that would tell them about what the committee does, their events, all of that.
Okay.
So
Why am I getting a feeling that you like doing things that you're not very passionate about? For example, mathematics. You are not that interested in mathematics, but because it is related to event organizing, you did that part of it. Similarly for dogs, right? You're not passionate about it, but because the writing part interests you, you did that. So, do you always tend to make decisions like these?
Okay, sir, I feel that both of these roles had something more to it, like meeting with people, working with them, collaborating with them. Then those are good aspects that I would need in my marketing career as well. So to build those skills, I took up those roles.
So where do you draw the line? That these are the activities that I would like to get into. For example, say dogs and mathematics, innocuous things. So you would not mind to get into that. So where do you draw the line that even if that activity involves some writing or meeting people or whatever you want to do, but still, if it belongs to a particular sphere, I don't want to get into that.
Okay. So firstly, that activity should not be harming to anyone. Like if it is doing any hazardous things, like I would not work for, let's say, an alcohol company because I don't promote it. So that is where I draw the line, that the activity should be generous or doing well for people.
Now, Diageo is one of the top recruiters on campuses. And what if you get an offer from Diageo? Would you join?
No, sir, I would not. I
How about ITC?
Sir, I haven't made up my mind on ITC yet.
So originally, the full form of ITC, right?
Was
After
tobacco company, yeah.
so it is Indian Tobacco Company
Tobacco.
originally. Now later they bifurcated the business, and that is a difference.
In FMCG.
But
yeah.
still, cigarettes is one of the things that they serve.
Sir, I feel that if I'm not working for cigarettes, if I'm working for their other brands, then I feel that it would still be fine because then I would be in the promotion of those FMCG goods. So that's still fine.
What do you consider as an area of improvement for yourself?
Sir, I feel that I somewhere lack at taking timely decisions. One of my main thing was that I have a double mind when I'm presented with certain options. In college itself, that once led me to forego an opportunity to head an editorials department. So I'm trying to make a structured framework that I have to take timely decisions and start my work.
Now, as a manager, you have to take timely decisions, and you have to, so whichever decision you take, you have to pursue it.
Yes.
Now, you are saying that you have double mind and you take time to take decisions. So, how do we trust that you will be a good manager?
Okay. Sir, I feel that because if I take a double mind, that's because I like to go over the details of all my options. So I feel that I have a comprehensive idea about all of that, but I do need to draw the line that this is where it stops and this is where execution starts.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
we're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Krishna, your interview is over. Now,
Yes.
we'll begin with the feedback. So, how do you think it went?
Sir, I feel I didn't know the answers to some questions which I should have, like how you asked about behavioral economics and market basket analysis. If I want to go into marketing, I should know all the technical questions.
And say, overall, it was a good interview, right? So, you were in control and you did not give us any opportunity to corner you as such.
Okay.
Now, one definite point I want to highlight is when you talked about your weaknesses or the areas of improvement, you mentioned double mind.
Yes.
And probably what you meant was that you take a little bit longer time than you should for analyzing different situations and all the options. So portray it that way. Because if you say double mind, then it can be taken negatively.
Okay. So I have to phrase it better.
So you phrase it better. I'm not telling you to lie or something, but be politically correct. Because there are certain weaknesses you may not want to explicitly say in a B school interview.
Okay.
Overall, you handle most of the questions on marketing well, like 4 P's and 7 P's of marketing and others. Well, answering a lot of questions, you began with okay.
Yes.
So is it your habit?
Even I've written that.
Sir, I feel that if I say okay, that means I've completely registered your question and then I'm giving an answer. Should I do that or is that a bad habit?
No. Preferably, you should not do that. But there is a reason why I ask you the question, is it your part of your habit? Because if this is how you have been doing for last like several years, then it may be difficult to, just let go of that at the time of interview. And if your half of your attention goes in that, whether am I saying okay or not, then that could affect your performance in the interview. We don't want that. So see to it if it happens naturally.
Sure.
Then your introduction was fairly good. The first sentence you mention is you're born and brought up in Mumbai, that's fine. But don't elaborate too much on that. Yeah, I'm not saying that you did. But it's not a very good idea to talk too much about, where you come from and then your family background and things like that.
Okay.
Just one sentence is fine.
So just my place of born
So
and brought
that
up.
it is just like an icebreaker. So that's fine. And then later on you got into, your college activities and other things. So that was perfect.
Sure.
Then how you got interested in marketing? That question was handled well. Because you evaluated on the options. In the first year, you took courses on marketing as well as finance, and marketing appealed to you more. That's fine. And then later on, you also handled questions, technical questions on marketing, most of the questions. Well, so I think that goes in sync.
See, introduction was fine. I think one good thing about you is that your communication is pretty good, right? So it definitely helps. And I think you tried bringing that consumer behavior twice. So in the introduction, I heard that. And then somewhere later also, you sort of brought it back. So you were trying to direct the interview in some way. That's what I felt. Was it done consciously or was it done just like
No,
that?
sir. Because I'm a fresher, I don't have a lot of things to draw from my experience. So I try to bring it from my academics.
Any particular ranks that you have in your academics? Because your record is pretty good.
Sir,
So what was the relative position in the batch?
sir, I'm currently top 5 in my class.
Why didn't you mention it in the introduction?
So because there's no proof of it, like we do not get any certificates to show our rank. So I thought if they ask for it, I may not be able to.
See, if it is possible to get a letter from the institute, right, you can just request them that, or at least if they can give, let's say, top 10 students' names and scores, that itself is a proof, right? See, these things make a difference. So when you say in the introduction that I am somebody who is in the top 5 of my batch, it's a perception thing, right? So it will create some difference. Did you say that I took one course in marketing and one course in finance and then decided marketing?
Yes,
So
I said that.
I don't know if one course is sufficient to make a decision that I'm not interested in finance. So you could have said I chose multiple subjects. I don't know how many subjects you had, but just saying one course in finance and then deciding it is not for me, it's not a good strategy.
Okay.
Overall, everything was fine. I tried to stress you a little bit. So a couple of places we tried doing that. So for example, I said, is there any punctuation error? There is one that I spotted, but that is why I just tried to sort of stress you a little bit. It generally has nothing to do with the selection, so don't worry about that. But you handled it pretty well, so don't worry. I mean, what I was trying to do is stress you a little bit and see if the later performance gets impacted because of it. It didn't happen, so that's good. 4 Ps, 7 Ps, all of that was fine. See, regarding your book, right? You can speak about it more passionately and you can talk because it's like a lot of people will not have it, right? So very few people will have this kind of achievement. So I think you should talk more about it. Number of copies sold is pretty low, I know that.
Yes.
But then still, I mean, for you, getting published itself is success.
It is an achievement.
Right? So
yeah.
how many copies doesn't really matter, right? I mean, there are a lot of painters who basically painted for fun. They didn't know that it was going to be like a $1 million worth of painting, right? So Supreme Court judgment on street dogs. See, the problem is, and that's what I pointed, right? Again, because part of that stress thing, but when you say that you worked at Pause Foundation, correct? Anybody, whether I'm taking your interview, not taking your interview, I will think that you are passionate about the cause. Otherwise, why would you get associated with? I mean, you could have joined some other marketing firm and done copywriting there as well. But why Pause Foundation? Similarly, that mathematics carnival. So it has got nothing to do with math. Your interest was events. So you have to say it in such a way that at least it shows that you are passionate somewhat. I'm not saying again you lie about it. But then interest has to be there. So if we define it on a scale, right, that you're just interested versus like extreme passionate, somewhere in the middle you should be there. So it can't happen that I don't like dogs, I hate dogs, and I'm working with
Yeah,
Pause
it's not
Foundation.
the reason, but
Okay.
I
So-
need to portray it better.
Yeah.
Got it.
Um, Rest was fine. I think your one area where I think you're very good is, of course, the literature and reading. So try and drive the interview towards that. And I probed you a little bit on the Booker Prize thing. So pretty decent performance on that front. Um, when you explain, you I think should explain a little bit more. Okay, for example, Nike, right? So I asked you which is your favorite brand, and then you said Nike, and then you said I like their campaigns. Then you are waiting for me to ask which campaign.
Okay, yes.
So the answer to what's your favorite brand itself can be a little longer, so that I pick from there. Okay, for example, it could have been that since childhood I'm somebody who's interested in running, and Nike makes great shoes. I've been a user, right? So making that thing a little more personal, rather than just saying, okay, I like their campaigns. Okay, so why do it, right? So you said why do it, and then you could have explained that a little bit more. Is what I felt. Then again, I tried stressing you by saying that mathematic carnival, you should have just given chips and cold drinks, and people would still have turned up. And you handled that well. That okay, that's not the idea. By giving AIDA model,
Yes.
good in a way, but then you're also kind of risking by giving them more to ask from a technical perspective. So attention, interest, desire, action. Who gave the model, for example, like really arbitrary question related to it.
Yes.
I mean, you would not expect somebody to ask you who gave the model. So when you're saying something like that, also be mindful that you can get more difficult questions.
From
Okay.
it. Okay.
Then, yeah, drawing that line. So you yourself said that I will not work at a company which is selling alcohol. Okay, we didn't say it. So then another line of question. So he said Diageo,
Of course.
right? Then it got into ITC, tobacco. If ITC is selling tobacco as well, would you still be there? Unnecessary.
So I shouldn't have mentioned alcohol.
You shouldn't have said alcohol. He said, where
Yeah.
do you draw the line? You could have, whatever, done something, but not got into the specific that, okay, I'll not work with alcohol company. Then, I mean, why work with, let's say, some company which is selling beauty creams? I mean, Fair and Lovely, which they later changed to whatever, right? Do you think fairness cream should be sold? Branding is a separate issue, but should they be sold in the first place? Correct. So it can get into a lot of those unnecessary discussions. So just be careful of that. Area of interest, I think Girish has already given that feedback, and I also registered okay at a couple of places that I asked the question, then you said okay. So, see, overall, what I feel is, firstly, you're a very good candidate in terms of your academic record, right? And on this application, the extracurricular section is like 60% of your resume, correct? So, you definitely have that as your strength, correct? And the published author and all of that. So, academics plus extracurricular, everything is sorted. Your communication is fine. Just some structuring of the answers a little bit,
Yes.
and reading up more, because see, market basket analysis,
Yes.
behavioral
Behavioral
economics, so consumer behavior and behavioral economics are very closely related. That is why I asked that question. Then even on current affairs, because it is related to dogs, he asked about the judgment. So prepare for current affairs, prepare marketing a little bit more in depth, and I think that should be enough.
And also, one point, if you are an avid reader, then better don't mention Harry Potter.
Okay.
Because Harry Potter, it's fine. And I'm not against that book or something. But if you have better books to talk about,
Yes.
then obviously you should capitalize on that. Now, if you're sitting in a B school interview, and if you can talk about maybe some book from the area of your interest, maybe something related to marketing campaign, or anything related to marketing, anything related to world of business or economy, that would carry much more weight than Harry Potter.
Of course. Of course.
So probably we may not give the same feedback to someone who doesn't read. Because if Harry Potter is the only book student has read, then obviously he has to say it. But that's not the case with you. So if you are an avid reader, then capitalize on that. Sure.
I think, but the interview was pretty okay. So nothing major concern as such. Just work on a couple of things that we mentioned, and you should be fine.
Yes.
Okay. All the best.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.